Hey there, it's Dr. Anita, founder of thefreedomprescription.com. Why don't you head on over there after this video and take a look, thefreedomprescription.com. Now, as you know, I like to give you a lot of information that's very practical, very realistic, and down to earth about how you can achieve your goals and objectives. So today I'm going to talk about kind of a strange way of achieving that for you. And it's something you probably haven't thought too much about, but I want to put this idea in your head because I think it's actually inhibiting a lot of people from making forward progress. Now, you know how I feel about multitasking, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse and tell you yet again about how you need to stop multitasking and remind you one more time, of course, that I'm not going to do, that how much focus actually makes things happen. I won't remind you of those things again. But what I do want to do is bring to you some new information. It could be new to you. I think it probably is. On how important it is if you are reading books or trying to consume information that you care about, that is going to in some way, shape, or form change you. So whether it's a self-help book or a business book, or you're trying to learn something and it's, it's a textbook, maybe if you're in school or if you're taking a class or something, it is really important that you use a physical book and not read that book on any kind of tablet, whether it's a Kindle, iPad, whatever. It actually not only is it just a problem in one way, which I'll talk about in a second, but there's actually been research that shows that people absorb less information when they read from a tablet than when they read from a physical book. And why that is, why do people have a tough time remembering information when they read it on a tablet? And there's a lot of reasons this could be happening, but one of the things that I want to let you know is that reading on a tablet is like you may as well just be shutting your brain off. I mean, if you're reading a book that's purely for pleasure and you don't really care if you remember anything about the book the moment the book is over, go for it. Who cares? But if you're reading a book because you really want to ingest the information, you want to have it go through you and change you in a certain way, get the book. What happens is when you read on a tablet, there's a lot of different things that happen. From a psychological perspective, the one that you want to be concerned about is something called stimulus control. So if you use your phone or your tablet for anything other than reading, for instance, checking Facebook, checking Twitter, looking at, using different apps, playing games, whatever it is that you use your phone or your tablet for, and it's fine. But if you're also trying to read, what happens is your brain gets triggered by a stimuli, by stimuli around it. So when it sees that tablet, it doesn't quite yet know what to prepare itself for. And quite frankly, you probably the majority of the time are using the tablet for something that is quick moving and not something that requires sustained attention like reading. So when you pick up your tablet or your phone, your brain is automatically starting to engage in getting ready to get information that's going to be quick changing and not very in-depth, and certainly not anything that's going to require focus. So you're training your brain that when you're holding these electronic devices, that's how it's going to process information. But when you're reading a book that you really care about, and your brain is not in that mode because it doesn't understand, hey, this is different. This is a different sort of use of this product than I normally use it. Your brain actually doesn't get that. And you're going to have to work a lot harder to force your brain to focus on something like that. So there's just that issue. It's called stimulus control. It's very, very powerful. The other issue is there's something about the backlight of a device like that that changes the way that your brain functions too. And so it's like your brain is getting hit with so much stuff that it overrides the thinking part of your brain, your frontal lobe. And so it's actually more difficult for that reason, for your brain to process information and to retain it, to move it into memory. Okay. Another thing is that tablets and electronic devices actually cause stress because you can check your email on it. Perhaps you get text messages that way. And so when you have this device, sometimes people get a little bit of an increased level of anxiety or stress with these devices. When you're trying to read, and by the way, some significant research studies have shown that you can achieve better stress relief by reading a book for half an hour than if you went out and took a walk for half an hour. So it's a pretty powerful thing to be able to read. But not when you're reading on a device, okay? Because what happens is that device, all of a sudden you're going to get a text message that comes in, you're going to want to go look at that, or you kind of feel pulled to check your email because it's there. So it actually kind of mixes this whole idea of stress and relaxation in one device. Your brain doesn't know what to do. So it's not going to absorb the information that you are trying to put into it. So I hope that this makes you think twice. I think there's something very powerful about picking up a physical book. Another aspect of the stimulus control is think about what happens when you pick up a book. When you pick up a book, you pretty much know that you're going to be, you have to go find a specific place to sit and a specific environment. You are creating an environment that's going to allow you to spend time with that book. So you're probably going to spend longer with that, which means you're focusing on it. And what happens when we focus on something? We get results. It actually works. When we focus on something, we can learn more. Okay, so it's really a very powerful thing. We treat a physical book much differently than we treat a tablet, an electronic device. So I want you to really think about this. I want you to do a gut check here. I know it's very hard because it's so easy to just download a book on your device and just have it there. I mean, I have plenty on mine, but I'll tell you what, I've realized that I cannot retain information in nearly the same way with these devices. And so I've known that about myself. I've started to advise my clients to get physical books. And so I started looking around, poking for research that substantiates what my intuition's been telling me. And sure enough, the research is out there. So get physical books. Don't download them onto your tablet or your device unless it's a book that you really don't care about. Like if it's just something that you're using purely for mindless purposes just to fill in time and you can't care if you forget about the plot or whatever the moment that the book is over. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope it gets you thinking about how you ingest information and how you are able to keep information, especially important information that's going to help you change what you're doing and help you achieve your most important objectives. So if you like this information, make sure to like this video and also make sure to share it because I think a lot of people need to know this. We need to move away from these devices for important things in our lives so we can actually get stuff done, get stuff achieved. And don't forget to head on over to thefreedomprescription.com, and if you signed up for my newsletter, I give you a free 43-page ebook on how to be more productive and how to be less stressed at the same time. So make sure you do that, and I'll see you next time.